The Summary Bible. Part 5. Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs. In this video, we will explore an abridged version of the Holy Bible to better understand its importance and its central message. Book of Esther. The Book of Esther is one of the historical books of the Old Testament of the Bible. It tells the story of Queen Esther, a young Jewish woman who became queen of the Persian Empire and saved her people from a massacre planned by the villainous Haman. Esther lived in Persia with her uncle and her protector, Mordecai, who had raised her after the death of her parents. One day, King Ahasuerus decided to marry again and called a great banquet to choose his new wife. Esther, who was known for her beauty and her virtue, was chosen to be the new queen. However, Haman, the king's prime minister, hated the Jews and planned a massacre against them. Mordecai, who found out about this plan, informed Esther and urged her to speak to the king and ask for his help. Esther appeared before the king and revealed her identity as a Jew, and also informed him about Haman's plan to destroy her people. The king, upon learning the truth, decided to protect the Jews and ordered Haman's execution. Mordecai became the new prime minister, and Esther, along with him, worked to save the town from her. The king allowed the Jews to defend themselves and fight against their oppressors, which resulted in a great victory for the Jews. The Book of Esther is an exciting story that teaches about the importance of having courage and bravery in difficult times. It also highlights the importance of faith and prayer, since Mordecai and Esther prayed together before appearing before the king. Furthermore, the book also shows the importance of unity and solidarity in times of adversity and how the Jews worked together to save themselves from Haman's planned massacre. In short, Esther's book is an inspiring story that shows how one person can make a positive difference in the world through his faith, courage, and action. It is a valuable lesson for all, and its message is still relevant today. Book of Job. The Book of Job is one of the oldest and most acclaimed in the Bible. It is considered a masterpiece of religious and philosophical literature, and is highly appreciated for its profound reflection on the nature of suffering and divine justice. Job is a fair and rich man who lives in the land of Uz. One day, the devil asks God for permission to test Job's faith. God accepts and allows the devil to take away all the goods and children of Job. Despite this terrible trial, Job remains faithful to God and praises his name. This provokes a series of debates between Job and his friends, who argue that Job's suffering is a consequence of his hidden sins. Job refuses to accept this explanation and affirms his innocence. In a moment of desperation, he cries out for a direct answer from God, but receives a challenging, enigmatic response. Throughout the book, Job continues to debate with his friends and question God's justice. Finally, God shows up in a storm and responds to Job, affirming his power and wisdom as creator of the universe. God tells Job that he cannot understand God's plans and that he must have faith in him. The Book of Job is a profound and significant work that has inspired philosophers, theologians, and thinkers for centuries. It has been interpreted in many different ways, but its central message remains relevant today. Faith in God can overcome suffering and adversity, and divine justice is a mystery beyond human comprehension. In summary, the Book of Job is a work that invites reflection and debate, and its message is relevant both for believers and for those who seek to understand the role of suffering and adversity in our lives. It is a powerful testimony of strength and human resilience, and a call to keep faith in God, even in the most difficult moments. Book of Psalms. The Book of Psalms, also known as the Book of David's Psalms, is one of the oldest and most iconic books of the Hebrew Bible. It is a collection of 150 poems, covering a wide variety of topics, including worship, prayer, mourning, meditation, and thanksgiving. The Psalms are known for their poetic beauty, their spiritual depth, and their ability to express the most intimate emotions of the human being. Although the author of most of the Psalms is David, the king of Israel, they are also attributed to other authors, such as Asaph, son of Berechiah, and the son of Jonathan. The Psalms were composed in a period from the 10th to the 5th century before Christ. And it is believed that they were originally used as part of worship services in the Temple of Jerusalem. The Psalms are organized into 5 books, and each of them ends with a doxology, a short prayer of praise to God. The themes of the Psalms are varied and reflect the complexity of human life. Some of the better-known Psalms include Psalm chapter 23, Psalm chapter 27, Psalm chapter 51, Psalm chapter 91, and Psalm chapter 100. Psalm chapter 23 is probably one of the most well-known and beloved Psalms in the Bible. This psalm describes God's relationship with his people as a good shepherd who guides his sheep along green and quiet paths. Psalm chapter 27 is a prayer of trust in God in times of trial and difficulty. Psalm chapter 51 is a psalm of penance and repentance, in which the author asks for forgiveness for his sins and seeks God's help. Psalm chapter 91 is a psalm of protection and comfort, which speaks of the security that God provides to those who trust in him. This psalm is known for its promise that God will protect those who seek refuge in him from all evil and danger. Finally, Psalm chapter 100 is a psalm of praise and thanksgiving, which calls believers to thank God for all his blessings and for his goodness and his eternal love. In summary, the Book of Psalms is a valuable, profound book that has been loved by believers for centuries. His poetry expresses the complexity of human emotions and offers comfort and hope to those seeking a deeper relationship with God. The Psalms are also a source of inspiration for those seeking a more spiritual and meaningful life. In addition to their spiritual value, the Psalms also have great literary value. His poems are known for their poetic beauty, their rhythm, and their musicality, and have been a source of inspiration for poets and musicians throughout the centuries. Many of the prayers and hymns that are sung in churches today are based on the Psalms. Book of Proverbs. The Book of Proverbs is one of the best-known and often quoted books of the Bible. It is a collection of sayings and wise teachings that cover a wide range of topics, from conduct and morals to practical wisdom and cunning. It is often considered a manual for life, and its teachings are still relevant in modern society. The Proverbs were written by King Solomon, who, according to the Bible, was the wisest king that ever lived. Many of the Proverbs reflect the wisdom of the time and cover topics such as honesty, faithfulness, justice, and responsibility. Also, there are many proverbs that focus on practical life, giving advice on how to manage money, deal with other people, and how to lead a fulfilling life. In addition to the proverbs, the book also contains some lengthy and didactic speeches, which provide a broader insight into wisdom and how to apply it in everyday life. These speeches talk about the importance of education, the value of discipline, and the need to cultivate virtues such as integrity and humility. It is important to note that Proverbs is not simply a list of rules to follow, but rather a guide to living a full and satisfying life. Many of the Proverbs are presented as antithetical, comparing the result of following a wise path with the result of following an evil path. This allows the reader to reflect on his own actions and decide which way to go. In summary, the Book of Proverbs is a valuable source of wisdom and practical advice. His teachings remain relevant in modern society and are a valuable guide for those who seek to live a full and satisfying life. Whether a person is a believer or not, Proverbs offers valuable insight on how to lead a virtuous, meaningful life.